Hi and welcome to RickSwanRacing. So tonight I'm going to do a little bit of a different video, something that I've been putting off for quite a while actually. And looking back at my YouTube channel, I realized it's been over a year since I've done an update on my immersive sim build, and figured it's time to finally update my video and kind of detail some of the stuff that's gone on with the last year. In early 2024, I decided to move the sim to a new room and give it its own dedicated sim cave or man cave or whatever you want to call it. Basically, I was adding a bunch of 3D printing capacity and needed to free up some space, so I decided to move the sim into a new space. Now, the upside to that was it gave me my own space to put up, mount my car models, put up stuff on the wall, and even more so, it gave me a way to start doing something that I'd wanted to do for quite a while, which was to start live streaming POV race videos in this immersive sim. And this was a pretty big project because I had to tear down the entire cage and everything and move it literally from upstairs to downstairs, which took a little bit of doing, a little bit of creativity in the process. Now, in addition to moving it and setting it up into its own new space, I added a few cool new features to it. I added a flagging display and a lap timer to the cockpit. Both of those were just found on eBay, and I believe the name of the company was SimPush. So, if you're looking for flagging display or looking for lap timers, I definitely recommend going and checking these out because they were pretty cool. In the ongoing quest to also make this cockpit as realistic as possible, I took my 3D design skills and my printers and I decided to dive into making realistic button boxes. So this year's been a pretty busy year in that department. I purchased a design for a Corvette button box for when I'm running, obviously, Corvettes. I also took the time to design and print, 3D print, a BMW M4 GT3 and a Mustang GT3 box. Now those ones are a little bit more complex because all the design, it all came from pictures and video and screenshots, so I had to be a little bit creative at trying to come up with the geometry and the design and then getting it into a printed form. Also, as I mentioned, I took a head dive in first into live streaming the POV, which was kind of my goal from the beginning, was to share these racing experiences with other people in as realistic a way as I can with a head-mounted camera. So I run an inverted GoPro with a design that I created to flip the GoPro upside down, which I use as a live stream camera. In addition to that, for the streaming, I added a mixer that sits next to the seat that handles all the audio coming in and coming out. I run a video capture card for playback so that I can show my audiences when something goes really wrong. Part of my goal too in trying to make this cockpit look as realistic as possible, and when the Mustang GT3 came out and became public, I decided to rebuild my dash to be closer to that of the Mustang GT3. Rebuilt it in cardboard, put it in the sim, and wrapped it in carbon fiber vinyl to give it that appearance. The computer that I had been using as my main gaming computer now became a streaming computer. That was an i7 10700, so a little bit older generation i7 chip, running the AMD 6900 XT video card, which worked pretty good for triples, but definitely moving up to a 4080 Super I think helped it quite a bit. So swapping over to the new triples meant that I needed to reevaluate how I was mounting them, because the problem I was having previously was that the monitor mounts were just a little bit too flexible. So in the process, I designed triple monitor mounts that were made out of wood, 2x4s, just like my entire sim cockpit. Took a little bit of creativity, but they feel a lot more rigid, and they actually give me more stability and a little bit more flexibility on how I want to change positions of the monitors. And then the last thing I did as far as live streaming setup is I built a stand and I mounted a large screen TV above the sim, above the cage, to be able to watch the stream output and make all the adjustments to the streaming software and the YouTube interface and my chat screen. It works pretty well, albeit it is pretty hard to see through the cage. to be actually able to interface with it, but it was the only solution I could come up with of adding basically a fourth monitor, and it was challenging considering just how much hardware I physically have in the cage. So that in a nutshell is what I did over 2024 to take my channel from being a channel that records race videos in 4K, post-processes them, and shares them after the fact, to one where I'm now able to live stream, share my POVs, interact with spectators in the community, and hopefully even to ask questions of people as they see my sim and want to know how I made it what it is. And as I've said before, my goal of this channel is to not only share my passion for sim racing and fabricating things, but also to talk a bit about my car projects, and as always to film and video live stream events and then share them with people. And I want to thank my subscribers and the community that signs on to watch me race a couple nights a week and who want to engage with me in chat. And if you like my content, please hit the like, please subscribe, please leave a comment, and I'd love to see people around. And as always, thanks for watching RickSwanRacing.